So Judge Torres, Judge Netburn, John Deaton, and Eleanor Tourette of Fox Business and the SEC have all contributed to why the SEC is going to lose this case. So in this video, I'm going to outline some of the decisions that just came down from the judges, as well as what one tweet that was just tweeted out, how it basically ended the case of the SEC. And I'm going to tell you what the SEC just filed, and I'm going to tell you what the SEC just filed in response to its objection that Judge Netburn said that they have to produce these Hinman emails that Jeremy Hogan absolutely couldn't believe. And right now this case is shaping up to be an absolute clown show. So I'm going to tell you why all these factors just contributed to why I believe this case is basically over. Hey everyone, my name is Randy. Welcome back to the Late Night Grind. And right now on this channel we are covering the Ripple versus the SEC case, as well as other cryptocurrency news, investment markets, and personal finance. So if any or all these topics interest you, make sure you go ahead and join the Late Night Grind community. Hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification icon so that YouTube will send you out a notification when I release a video. And of course, if you do a couple things, I'd appreciate it. Smash the thumbs up button, watch this video to the end, and of course check out my Patreon, link in the description below. So if you do all those things, I'd really appreciate it. They are the best things that you can do to help out a YouTube channel. So with that, let's jump into it. So I'm actually going to start this video by talking about what the SEC just filed with the courts, and this being their objection to the decision that Judge Netburn had made, 5 or 6 or 7 times now throughout this court case, in that being the SEC has to produce and turn over the documents, the emails surrounding the Bill Hinman speech, everything that the SEC wants to keep hidden. Man, there must be some juicy stuff in there. So several days ago, they actually filed a letter to the judge asking for basically a 30-page response. The judge said, no, it has to be 20 pages. They filed their response. In it, as soon as I opened it up, I saw a table of contents. So right off the bat, I knew that they were going to be attempting to do a lot of explaining and mental gymnastics in this one. And so going through it, it was basically a lot of reiterating the same things that they've been saying throughout this case. But I also noticed that they basically gave up on the client privilege assertion that the judges shot down last week. And now they're going back with the DPP, the deliberative process privilege that allows the SEC and other government institutions to keep things hidden when they're trying to come up with laws or pre-decisional laws. So they're going back to that. But the funny thing was, Jeremy Hogan actually pointed this out on Twitter, which was, it looks like the SEC actually came up with a 4th iteration of what this Bill Hinman speech was. Yes, a 4th. So not only do you have the judges calling the SEC out on the hypocrisy, the SEC just doesn't seem to care, because now they're coming out with yet another description of what it is. And now this one's new, because it looks like they're getting a little more dialed in, even though it's completely backwards. So they're now saying that the speech that was given by Bill Hinman isn't binding towards the SEC, but only to the part of the SEC that Bill Hinman was the chairman of, the director of the Division of Enforcement. But it's not binding on the rest of the SEC. And Jeremy Hogan's like, okay, this is a new one. So it's not really an opinion. It is specifically for guidance, but not for the whole SEC, just for the Division of Enforcement. Get it? Good. So I will link their full 20-page response in the description below if you actually want to go ahead and read it. However, before I get into a video and a tweet that was sent out by Eleanor Tourette of Fox Business that basically just leveled the SEC's case, I want to talk about what Judge Torres just responded with, and that regarding John Deaton. Now, John Deaton is trying to intervene in this case with the represented 68, almost 69,000 XRP holders. The SEC doesn't want him to intervene in this case at all. They're trying to get him and XRP holders barred from this case. The decision came down from Judge Torres that said, no, John Deaton and the XRP holders can participate in this case. They are not barred at all. So they denied the SEC's request. However, Judge Torres isn't going to allow John Deaton to participate in the most recent challenges, which is the SEC's expert witness challenge. But she did say that John Deaton and the XRP holders can file their Amici report when it comes time for summary judgment, meaning that's more of the important time to talk about and challenge the SEC's expert witnesses at summary judgment, when both sides submit their motions for summary judgment. That is when John Deaton and the rest of the XRP holders will actually be heard. So that is really good news for XRP holders, bad news for the SEC. XRP holders aren't going anywhere. You should have known that by now. And so now let's get into this tweet that was sent out by Fox Business Eleanor Tourette, because she basically pointed out the same thing that Jeremy Hogan did, but she backed it up with a video. And if you haven't been following this case, this tweet is basically a summary of this entire case in a nutshell. So Eleanor Tourette of Fox Business, her and Charles Gasparino have actually been covering this story and giving, as best they can, fair and balanced coverage of both sides of the story, as well as trying to contact those involved and get clarifications on things. And Eleanor Tourette has been increasingly deep diving into the crypto space. She recently had John Deaton on an interview, about a 30-minute interview yesterday on Twitter as well. You can go check that out on her Twitter account. So along with Jeremy Hogan, along with some of the other attorneys that we follow on Twitter, she actually pointed out something similar. Because something just doesn't seem right about this. So now that the SEC is actually asserting that the speech given by Bill Hinman, it wasn't his opinion, we were just kidding about that. It was actually market guidance, but only for his specific division, not for the entire SEC. Because Ellie then tweeted out the quote from the SEC, which was, the speech was not binding SEC policy. That is, a pronouncement of the commission itself. The commissioners appointed by the president with the Senate's advice and consent. Ellie then attached a video of Jay Clayton, who was then the head of the SEC, giving a speech. Now, this speech was given just days after Bill Hinman gave his speech. That, remember, isn't binding to the SEC or its commissioners. But here's what Jay Clayton had to say about that speech.
Bill Hinman recently outlined the approach we take to evaluate whether a digital asset is a security, and I encourage you to take a look at Bill's speech, which is available on our website.
So there you go, straight from the head of the SEC's mouth, telling his audience that Bill Hinman just gave a speech that says, no, this is how the SEC views how we come up with decisions on what is a security and what is not a security. It looks like the SEC was just caught again. There is just far too many things going against the SEC that I'm seeing people on Twitter, I'm seeing people on YouTube now saying, it looks like the SEC has to wrap this up as quickly as possible. They're literally losing it every single turn, every single motion. It's looking worse and worse by the week. In fact, I recently saw an interview with Jimmy Valley of Valhalla Capital talking about this case, the Ripple versus the SEC case, and a lot of people stopped listening to him a little while ago because he was the one that was talking about a $35,000 XRP. A lot of the information was misconstrued, but nonetheless, I saw an interview when he was talking about in the next couple of weeks, you're probably going to see some sort of market incident in which Congress or even several other agencies are going to get involved in this case and say, listen, this needs to be wrapped up immediately because we're going to need some clarity on XRP and the rest of the space. So it's an interesting take from Jimmy Valley from Valhalla Capital, something else to keep an eye on. And so as we are awaiting the Fed's news on if, in fact, they're going to raise rates, I've been checking and refreshing my headlines every about 5 minutes while I was preparing this video. Let me go check one more time. Nope, still no announcement on what that what that rate hike will be from the Fed and Jerome Powell. So more than likely, that'll be on my next video. Stick around for that. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching this video all the way to the end, for smashing that thumbs up button, and as always, I'll see you guys on the next video.